This video is to learn how to use the gradebook that I created with numbers and Apple program. So the first thing you're going to do is open the program, and it should look like this. This is student data 1, and all the students' names would go across the top, and you would be able to fill in scores across the bottom. Now the problem is that the sheet will automatically fill, and right now it's set up for my school, so it's got my logo and my email address. So what you're going to want to do is delete the additional sheets. On yours there'll be about 30. On mine there's 5 because I went ahead and deleted the extras. So click the arrow, scroll down to delete, and you repeat the process until you're down to the one that says number 1. So you just need student data 1 and the sheet that says 1. So if I edit anything in this box, it'll automatically change this box, but it'll automatically change this box as well. Now if you look at mine, I have the guiding questions, and you'll probably delete those. Probably get rid of my email address. You might want to use the 0 through 3 scale. It works pretty well, which you can kind of read and figure out yourself if it works for you. But if I click on my logo, I can delete that as well. I also have my contact information at the bottom that I would, because parents would be getting this sheet. So I've deleted all that extra stuff. If I want to, I can move them assessments up. It gives me a little extra room if I need it. And these are 2 separate tables so that I can kind of have a little bit more control of where stuff goes. So once I've made all the changes that I want on my sheet, I can go ahead and duplicate, and I'll say 1-1, and then I'll go back to the 1 and I'll duplicate again, and I'll repeat the process. For our sake, we're going to do it so that we have 4 students in our class. I would do the number of students you have in an average class, just because you can save this as a template and not have to redo this every year. So then I'm going to double click at the top, and I'm just going to rename them 2, 3, and 4. And you would do this all the way to 30 or 60 or how many kids you have in your class. Now in student data, you'll notice that if I change this person's name, where it said student 1, it's going to say fill in Jim in the other ones. But the problem is that number 2, sheet number 3, and sheet number 4 all say the same thing. So what I need to do is make it so that this is pulling from a different spot on the student data sheet. So if you look at the formula, it has all this complicated stuff. But basically the B and the 1 says that in box B1 is where it's stealing stuff from. So to change it, you double click inside the box, and then it'll have the original formula. Click in student data, and you're going to click in the one that you actually want. So I wanted that to go into sheet number 2, and so it's going to have both of them. But I go ahead and I delete the first one, I hit the check mark, and then now sheet number 2 says student number 2. So that says should match. So the next one, when it says student 3, I want to say student 3, so I'm going to have to do this for every single one. And if you do 30, then you'll just have to do it 30 times. And it takes a little bit of time, but once you've done it, it doesn't need to be done again as long as you don't change your original sheet. So then I'll do that for 4. Click on student data 1, student 4, delete the original. So as you can see, it says E1, and this is E1. Check mark, it's good to go. So it's all changed for each student. So if I go in and edit any of this stuff, now again I use 1, 2, 3, it'll on the original sheet or on the sheet that would get sent home change the assessment data. Now some things that are kind of cool is that maybe you don't want to do long jump rope, and instead you want to do, so we got hockey pass, so maybe it's hockey dribble. So then if I look at any of my other sheets, it will have automatically switched it over, if I can find where it went. Let's see. 20. So it should be over here. Oh, there it is. So right at the top, hockey dribble, hockey pass. And so if you want to make it any changes that way, you can. One of the things that might be useful if you're going to use this for other than PE, so students reads at grade level. It might use more space, and so if it's something a little bit bigger, you might have to adjust how big these boxes are, and it might cut off at the end, so maybe the box number 18 isn't used, so then you'll just have to be careful of how you fill this in. So the main thing is that you should always write it so that it makes sense for parents, because the idea is that this is sent home instead of a traditional report card. So I changed that one back. Control Z. And then, so once I have all my grades for the year or the semester, I'll probably want to print. And the best way to do that is just do File, Print. And then I put all sheets and click Print again. And then the trick is that you got to figure out which number to start on. So if I skip ahead, as you can see, this is the part where I'm recording data. And I get to this one, so number 13. So I'm going to say print starting at 13. And then I'm going to go to 16 because that's all the sheets. So then it has everybody's sheet, and then I would hit print. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me back. But that should be it. Good luck.